Hey guys, welcome to our channel, English Official. I hope you all are doing great and I welcome you all with a warm heart on this platform. So today's video is going to be very special. Why? Because this is especially for beginners, especially who are starting from the scratch of any language it can be, but we are mostly concerned about English. So people who are learning English are facing tremendous issues regarding this language, then this video is for you, because I'm going to give you all the resources that would be helpful for you to improve not only speaking skills but also every other skill in English. As you know, we have 4 skills in English, which is listening, reading, writing and speaking. Listening and reading is more receptive skills and writing and speaking is productive skills. So we are not only working for speaking guys, we are also going to work on other 3 skills like listening, reading and writing. So I'm going to give you all the resources that would be helpful for you to improve your English language on a whole, not only for speaking. Now, very first thing for the beginners is, as this is a new language, make sure you take that it is just a language but not a subject. Most of us would treat this as a subject because from our childhood we have been taught that English is a subject, right? I think we all have been taught like that. Now English is not a subject, guys, it's just a language. Take me into consideration. I'm learning a new language, which is French, and I'm having so much fun learning it. Why? Because whenever I'm learning a new word or new sentence, I feel like I'm enjoying it because I'm learning a new language. And if you feel like my videos are providing some value to you, then make sure you subscribe to my channel and don't forget to hit the bell icon, because that's when you are going to get my notification to your phone. Now, as I was talking about beginners, the very first thing that beginners must improve is listening. Now, how can one improve their listening skills? Which is very difficult. Sometimes when we hear a native speaker talking, we may not understand what he's trying to speak. And when we are watching a movie, we try to turn on the subtitles so that we can learn at least what he's trying to say from the captions, right? So with this tip, I'm telling you, you need not even turn on the captions or subtitles, because you can happily understand what he's trying to say. Now, how you can improve that is like listening to cartoons or something which is made for kids, like animated movies and so on. So why am I only targeting for kids? No, I'm not targeting for kids. I'm telling for everyone that everyone must watch kids related movies, not movies which are made for adults. Why? Because movies which are made for adults is especially, it'll be in that language which people can understand, especially the adults, and even the vocabulary, the sentence structure, everything would be difficult. For the beginners, I don't recommend this. Why? Because this is not suitable and you cannot understand what they're trying to say, even the slang, right? Now, if you take for kids, it will be very easy and simple. So since it is made especially for the kids, they would keep the grammar, the sentence structure, everything in simple present, and people can understand by watching this. And one more thing I'm going to recommend is, don't listen to podcasts. I think I've come across many videos on YouTube saying that people must, listen to podcasts that can improve, their English. I'm not saying no. Yes, it works, but it is not for beginners, guys. Trust me. Beginners, if you start listening to podcasts, what will happen is podcast uses some, good range of vocabulary, and also it is something which is advanced vocabulary, not like basic ones. So you have to start learning the meanings of different common words like good, bad, sad, come, alive, live, along, between. So these are the words which you need to know, because for the beginners, they need to know the exact meaning of this, not like scrumptious, delicious, mind-blowing, mind-boggling. So nuptial. So nuptial is nothing but a wedding bliss. So if you start focusing on advanced vocabulary, if you start for the first time learning this language, and if you focus on all these advanced words, you will find it difficult, right? So that's why let's make it simple. Let's make it joyful rather than, like a marathon or a race. So it's not a competition, guys. Don't be in a marathon. Don't think that, okay, that person has completed within a month, or this person has just achieved the skill within 7 days. It depends on their kind of ability. Everyone has their own ability, right? So you take your own time. You need not worry about others. Never ever compare with others. Why? Because if you start comparing, you would demotivate yourself. So don't do that, right? Don't compare. Be at your own pace. Enjoy this process and learn. That is what I want to say. And one more thing that I want you to listen is conversational videos instead of podcast. So something which is conversation, like conversation at a coffee house, or conversation at a cinema hall, or maybe at hospital. So there are certain conversational videos, right, available on YouTube. So if you want, then make sure comment down. Even I would try to make conversational videos so that it will be helpful for you guys further in this app, in this channel. So the conversation videos would be very simple, something like, hi, good morning, where are you from? So I'm from Mumbai, and where are you from? So these are something which is, like in a day-to-day conversation. Again, we must understand that we are not preparing some exam, right? We want to speak daily with people around us, like in the surrounding. Now, the second skill, which is writing. So if you want to improve your writing skills, like I think most of us will face this issue when we're writing emails, when we are writing, blog posts, or maybe letters, or even it can be essays. So when people are facing this issue to write, something which is in English, so we think especially for grammar. Since we have some time to think about and write, so that is okay, better than speaking. But even though we have time, we still make mistakes. Now, how to avoid the mistakes? Now, what I recommend is start writing something. Forget about grammar. Initially, you might make grammar mistakes. That is fine. So start writing. If not every day, at least twice a week, start writing essays. Really, it works. If you take IELTS has different kind of questions. If you want, I'll leave a link in the description box so that you can go through the link and start working on these kind of, essays, and try to write down. Right? Make sure you maintain a book, especially for the writing, and pen down something. Try to write some essays. Maybe at the starting you would not be perfect, right? You would face difficulty, but after like 2 to 3 weeks, you will easily get hold of writing and you will enjoy the process. So anyways, I'm going to give you the resource, so make sure you check that and try to write at least once a week. Even that's fine. And my third skill is speaking. I think we all thrive to be a fluent speaker, right? Now, how you can do that? It's like just simply speaking daily. So as I was saying, that you have to focus on listening first. So that can also in turn help you in speaking as well. So when you're listening a form of a sentence or a sentence structure, you have to implement the same while you're speaking, right? When you're listening a conversation, same thing you try to use in your daily life, in your real life, right? So that is when you can implement it. Suppose you want to order a coffee. When you go to a restaurant, don't talk in your mother tongue, right? Just make sure you start talking in English. So of course, if the other person is unable to understand, then you can make sure you talk in your mother tongue itself. But if the other person can understand and can reply you in English, then try to utilize that. Even at your home, talk with your kids, right? Kids, I think they are really going to help us. So most of the moms who have come to my classes, they have said that, we are learning a lot from our kids. Really, they're really helpful. Why? Because kids, they have very simple language and they learn, from school and all. And when they come to home, they expect the same, that they want to talk, in English. But most of the times, as we are speaking in our mother tongue, they also tend to speak in the same language. So try to restrict that language only to English. Why? Because when you start talking with them in English, even they will improve, and simultaneously even you as a mother or a father can improve the language. If people don't have kids at home, and if they have not married, then for them, then make sure you talk with your friends at least in English, or even your parents if they can talk. So start talking from home itself. Don't go anywhere, don't join any courses, just make sure you talk, because that is the only mantra that can help you to speak fluently. And when you're listening, try to imitate the same thing. You need not worry about bringing a new thing in your head. Whatever you're listening, the same thing you're talking. So it's very simple, right? So make sure you talk daily. And if you want to improve your English, there are also certain apps like Cake app, which I'm going to insert the link as well. And other app would be, I have heard, like, which is CV. So even that app is quite helpful. So even you can use that app as well, because you can directly talk with the humans. So if it's a paid app, don't go for it, because I'm only giving you free resources over here. So for rather than applications and all, you just listen whatever you're listening, then try to speak. That's it. So even further, I'm looking to create one group especially for you people, so that you can improve your English, and especially people who are at that pace can freely communicate with others. And I think this is a free resource, right? So when I just give you that WhatsApp link, and when I create it, obviously I'm going to give you that link, so you can join and you can practice with each other, people who are especially serious and who want to improve. And if you really like this idea, then make sure you comment down below, so that I will be interested, and I will be creating as soon as possible, and I will be inserting in the description. So one more thing, like the last but not the least, which is nothing but reading. So for reading, what you need to do, try to start reading kids books, novels or stories, which are again very simple. Because for beginners, I don't want to give you something like of Chetan Bhagat or Harry Potter, all these editions, because these are very advanced, and people who are trying to learn from the scratch, for them it'll be very difficult to focus on all these and to read. Because so even when you're reading, the brain can't comprehend what you're trying to read, right? So let's make it simple. So for simply, you can just go through kids books. So if you are parents, you can just go through the kids English book, so where you have stories and all, try to read the stories. And people who don't have these kids books and all, I think they can just go and start reading something from the web, not like the blog post or anything else. Just go something which is especially for the kids. If you Google it, you can get stories online, and there are different websites which give you, I'm going to link some of the websites in the description box, so that you will know like what kind of websites that I am referring to. So you can just go through the website, and you can easily practice from there, and try to read at least once a week, like as I recommended for your writing as well. So if you start reading once a week, because if I ask you to read every day, then maybe people may not enjoy it, right? So if I just say start working on like at least once a week, people would take it seriously. Because once a week, at least on Saturday or Sunday when they have time, people will sit and start reading. When you flip a magazine also, you would get a lot of information from it. So make sure you even check magazines, like local magazines which you have. So even that is good. Otherwise, I'm going to give some websites which I'm going to provide that in the description box. So make sure you use that resource. So that's it, guys. That's all for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. So if you liked it, make sure you click the like button, and also subscribe to our channel, because that gives me good motivation to do more such videos. And until then, bye guys, take care, have a nice day.